Hungarian party planning technique is on the UNESCO Cultural Heritage Register. Well, kind of. It's called the Táncház method, and for 5 decades, it's played a crucial role in preserving and promoting folk culture and music in Hungary and elsewhere. As a sociological phenomenon, I find it quite interesting. It came about in the 1970s as some choreographers and beat musicians grew more interested in the dying folk dances of Hungarian peasants, especially in Transylvania, where young villagers would often throw a party in a táncház, or a dance house. The movement is notable because it's less about watching dances on a stage and more about actively performing them, combining the living practices of rural communities with detailed academic and archival research. The first Táncház was organized in Budapest in 1972 as a members-only club restricted to Budapest's 4 best amateur dance ensembles. But as outsider interest grew, it was open to the public, and the director of the Institute for Culture, Ivan Vitanyi, became one of its biggest supporters, considering it a form of national expression that was also essential for a socialist society. And while the Táncház movement sought to preserve ethnic Hungarian dances, it should also be pointed out that at and since the beginning of the movement, other ethnic groups' dances were studied and taught, like Romanian, South Slavic, and Romani gypsy dances. And as a sidebar, I don't think that it can be stressed enough how important Roma have historically been in preserving and influencing Hungarian folk music, especially in the Táncház. That first ensemble was even named after the legendary János Bihari. Historians and ethnographers have noted how interesting it is that the Táncház can be thought of both as a left-wing multicultural movement and as a populist ethno-nationalist. Mary Taylor published an interesting book in 2021 that explores this dichotomy and looks at the development of the movement over the decades. Interesting stuff in there, and in her interview with Ferenc Kosegi. But those dynamics and the history of the movement aside, it's done a remarkable job preserving and promoting Hungary's vibrant musical traditions with learnings and a methodology that other ethnographers and choreographers have used in other countries too. So if you love dancing and are good at it, check out a Táncház event. And if you're terrible at dancing and don't think you'll ever be able to learn, check out a Táncház event.